Hey, boys and girls, welcome back to another edition of Think Different Television. All right, triangle inequality part 2. Okay, so take a look. Here's the triangle inequality theorem. The sum of the lengths of any two sides of a triangle is greater than the length of the third side. But last time we were a little bit more specific than that. What do we say? Okay, here it is. So boom, here's my notebook. Make your notebook look like mine. Triangle inequality theorem part 2. The sum of the two smaller sides must be greater than the third side. So yesterday and last time we worked on all the different ways that we can see whether a triangle is a triangle. Like for example, if we had 1 inch, 2 inch, and then 3 inches, is that a triangle? No, because you add up the two smaller sides and 1 plus 2 is 3 and 3 is not greater than 3, so therefore it doesn't make a triangle. So we worked on that last time. We're just given 3 lengths. But what if we're only given 2? Look at this one. So here is the problem. Copy this one down. The measures of two sides of a triangle are 5 and 8. Find a range for the third side. So, could the third side be 4? Could the third side be 10? Could the third side be 100? Could it be 4.2? Could it be pi, 3.14? What the hell could it be? So we got to find that. So this is what we do. So let's draw a triangle. Okay, let's say this is 5, and let's say this is 8, like that. Okay? And then let's call the next one x. We don't know. That's the third side. So there are 2 possible outcomes of this. Number 1 is that x is the biggest side. Write that down. X could be the biggest side because this could be 9, this could be 10, this could be 10.2, this could be 1,000,000. So let's say x could be the biggest side. The other outcome is that 8 is the biggest side. Okay? Like this could be 3, this could be 4, this could be 6, and then therefore that would be 8 to be the biggest side. 5 can't be the biggest side because there's already 8 there. Sorry, 5. You're out of this. So, if x is the biggest side, let's say. So if x is the biggest side, that would mean that 5 plus 8, the two smaller sides, so I'm going off number 1 right now. So if this is the biggest side, so let's say this is 10 or 11, whatever you want to say. So that'd be 5 plus 8 has to be bigger than x. So that's the first thing. Okay? That's the first situation, which would mean that x has to be, what is this? I'm used to x being on the other side, right? So that's x has to be, see how the Pac-Man is eating the 13? So let's keep Pac-Man eating the 13. Bam, like that. So x has to be less than 13. So x could be 12, x could be 11, x could be 11.2, whatever. So that is one stipulation. Here's the second. What else do we say? 8 is the biggest side. Okay. So if 8 is the biggest side, that would mean these two are the smaller ones, right? So it would mean x plus 5 or 5 plus x have to be bigger than 8. All right. So I subtract 5, easy. So x has to be bigger than 3. So x has to be bigger than 3 and less than 13 in order for this to be true. So to write a compound inequality, all I do is I keep this. So x has to be less than 13, and then I just flip this around and put 3. So this means x has to be between 3 and 13. So let's pick something. Let's pick 12. Let's see if it works, because 12 is between 3 and 13, right? Let's pick 12. So if this were 12, add up the two smaller sides, right? 5 plus 8 is 13, and that's bigger than 12. There we go. What if I picked something outside of this? What if I picked like 2? 2 is not between 3 and 13. Would that work? If I put 2 here? Nope, because 5 plus 2 is 7, and 7 is not bigger than 8. Cool. So I can pick anything between 3 and 13. All right, let's practice this again. Let's do another one. Here we go. Write this down. Find the range of the third side measure if we have 1 and 6 as the first ones. Okay. So, first things first, I'm going to draw a picture. So let's say this is 1, this is 6, this is x. Doesn't have to draw on a scale, but you know what I'm talking about. Okay. So, what are the two stipulations? Number 1, x is the biggest side. And what else? Well, 1 can't be the biggest side. That would mean 6 is the biggest side. Cool. So if x is the biggest side, that would mean we have to add up the two smaller sides. So that's 1 plus 6 has to be bigger than x. Like if x is the biggest side, this would be 7 or 8 or 10 or whatever. So 1 plus 6 would be bigger than x. So that would be 7 has to be greater than x. Or reverse it. See Pac-Man eating the 7. So I just change this. Pac-Man's eating the 7. I'm going to keep Pac-Man eating the 7 like that. Bam. So x has to be less than 7. Okay. 6 is the biggest side. So 6 is the biggest. That means I add up the two smallest right here. So 1 plus x has to be less than 6. Or x plus 1, same thing. Minus 1. So x has to be less than 5. Bam. Okay. So, let's do a compound inequality. Pac-Man always eats to the left, so I'm just going to take... Oh, sorry, this is wrong. Why don't you tell me? This would be greater than, right? X would be greater than 5. The two small ones has to be greater than that. Yeah. Okay. So that would mean that x has to be less than 7 and greater than 5. There we go. When we do a compound inequality, the smaller one's over here and the bigger one's over here. So x could be 5.5. X could be 6.1. X could be 6.5, whatever. X could be 6. So anything between 5 and 7, you're good. Not equal to, it can't be 5, it can't be 7, but anything between that. Okay, let's try one more, shall we? Let's find a good one right here. Let's try 12 and 18. All right, 12 and 18. See if you can do it. 12 and 18. Ready, set, go. All right, I'm going to do it real quick. So here's 12, 18, and x. So first stipulation is that x is the biggest. So that would mean that 18 and 12 are the smaller sides, have to be bigger than x. So that would mean 30 is bigger than x, so x is less than 30. So anything x is less than 30. Second stipulation is that 18 is the biggest. So that would mean these two, 12 plus x, have to be bigger than the biggest side, 18. So subtract 12, subtract 12. So x has to be bigger than 18 minus 12, which is 6. So, compound inequality, start with the smaller one. X is less than x, which is less than 30. Anything between 30 and 6. Have you noticed the pattern? Yeah, you add them up, and you get this. You subtract them. 18 minus 12 is 6. See what I'm saying? Ooh. 1 and 6. 1 plus 6 is 7. 6 minus 1 is 5. You see the pattern? There we go. Nice job, everybody. Let's go on to the practice.